So, good afternoon, guys. Last lecture was fluid distribution, and today we will discuss about homeostasis. Okay, so homeostasis. What is homeostasis? Homeostasis means to maintain internal in environment in which cell live. So cell lived in, for example, ECF. Cell is surrounded by ECF. As you know, I told you we have only cell and blood vessel. This is the main composition to form a human being. Okay, so this is cell and this is ECF, or inside cell we have ICF. So cell is surrounded by totally ECF. So we have to maintain, or ECF, or we can say ECF have to maintain normal nutrition level or gases level or pH, etc. So that cell will work normally. So maintenance of ECF is called homeostasis. For example, suppose I am a cell and I am surrounding here this environment. Okay, if normal temperature is 25 degrees centigrade, if temperature will increase in this room, means I cannot work properly. Okay, if gases will decrease, in that case also I will not work properly. If waste product or any other things will decrease in this room, inside the room, okay, in that case also I will not work. Okay, so maintain the ECF, that's called homeostasis. How we can maintain this homeostasis? We have many mechanism, and how they work. Suppose this is normal cell which is surrounded by ECF. Okay, this is ECF. Right now everything is normal, so cell will work normal. But if there is any deviation in ECF, any deviation in ECF, cell will not work cell will not work normally. Okay, so to maintain ECF, we have sensor in our body. Okay, whenever any deviation occur, sensor will activate and they will give signal to the central nervous system, and from central nervous system they will give signal to the effector. And effector will activate it, and they will normalize ECF environment, so that cell can do normal function. Okay, so like this we have to maintain homeostasis. Next we have other mechanism also. For example, we have feedback mechanism, and we have feed forward mechanism. Okay, first we will discuss about feedback mechanism. In feedback mechanism we have two types. Feedback mechanisms are two types: positive feedback mechanism and negative feedback mechanism. Okay, so in positive feedback mechanism we have some example. We can understand by some example. Okay, so we have example. For example, Suppose this is uterus, okay? This is uterus and this one is uterus, and baby, what is this? This is baby, one is baby. So during delivery, okay, baby will come out, baby will come out like this, and we have stretch receptor here, we have stretch receptor here. As baby will come out, as baby will come out, these stretch receptor will activated, stretch receptor will activated, and they will give signal to the central nervous system, and from central nervous system oxytocin will come and work over the uterus, and more contraction more contraction take place, so delivery will easy. Okay, next, for example, negative feedback mechanism. For negative feedback mechanism, suppose we have hypothalamus. From hypothalamus, TRH will be thyrotropic releasing hormone, and this will work on pituitary, it will work on pituitary, and pituitary will release TSS, thyroid stimulating hormone, and TSS will work on thyroid gland, okay, and thyroid gland they release T3 and T4, okay. So whenever T3 and T4 increased by the normal level, whenever it will increase, they will give negative feedback to the negative signal to the hypothalamus and pituitary, okay. So in that case, they will give negative feedback, negative signal to the hypothalamus and pituitary. So TSS level will decrease, TRS level will decrease, and T3 T4 level also will come to the normal level. Like this we can maintain T3 and T4 level, okay. Okay, after that we have feed forward mechanism. What is feed forward mechanism? Feed forward mechanism means which mechanism facilitate the function, facilitate, how it facilitate. For example, suppose we are hungry, and someone give you food. What they will give you? Food. This is food, okay. So in our mouth, saliva secretion increase whenever we see the food, okay. So this is also facilitatory, means when we will take the food, it will more facilitate chewing also, and help in deglutition also. And after that, whenever we will place this food in our mouth, okay. So when placed food in our mouth, then gastric secretion also will increase, gastric secretion also increase, so that whatever we are taking, digestion will take place normally or properly, okay. This is called feed forward mechanism, okay. After that, we will discuss about acid base balance, okay. In acid base balance, we know pH inversely proportional to H positive. H positive means whenever H positive will increase, pH will decrease. That is called acidosis. It is called acidosis. And whenever H positive will decrease, pH will increase. That is called alkalosis. Okay, this is called alkalosis. Okay. Okay. Then after that, we have one equation that is called Hasselbalch Anderson equation. According to this equation, pH is equal to pK plus log bicarbonate and CO2. This is the Hasselbalch equation, and we will get from this equation pH is directly proportional to bicarbonate and inversely proportional to CO2. This is our sole relation, means pH is directly proportional to bicarbonate and inversely proportional to CO2. Okay, how we will manage, or how we can balance acid base balance. To maintain acid base balance in our body or in our blood pH normal is 7.35 to 7.45. This is our normal pH level. Okay, how it maintain? Now we will discuss how it maintain. We have many system. For example, number one, we have buffer system. Second, we have respiratory system, which help to maintain pH. Third, we have renal system. Renal system also help to maintain buffer or acid base balance. First, we will discuss about buffer system. How buffer system maintain acid base balance. In buffer system, we have bicarbonate buffer. Bicarbonate buffer means how bicarbonate help in maintain pH. Okay. Next, we have phosphate buffer. Then we have hemoglobin also, or some proteins also we have, which help to maintain pH in normal condition. Okay, so now we will discuss how bicarbonate buffer maintain normal pH. Okay, how bicarbonate buffer? In bicarbonate buffer, we have weak acid and weak base. What is weak acid? Weak acid is H2CO3 and weak base is NaHCO3. Okay. Whenever we'll add strong acid, for example HCl, who will take care of this HCl? Okay, so HCl is strong acid. It will counter with weak base. NaHCO3. What is this? Weak base. And this reaction convert it into H2CO3. What is this? Weak acid plus NaCl. Okay, so strong acid is converted into weak acid and it compensate or it regulate. Convert strong acid into weak acid. If suppose if suppose adding strong base, for example NaOH. What is this? Strong base. Who will act with this? We have weak acid. What is this? Weak acid. and this weak acid convert a strong base into, it will convert it into NaHCO3. Okay, what is strong base? And this is weak base. Okay, so strong base is converted into weak base. This is the main target of buffer or bicarbonate buffer. After that we have phosphate buffer. What we have? Phosphate buffer. Same in phosphate buffer also we have strong acid, or sorry, not strong acid, we have weak acid and weak base. So in phosphate buffer we have weak acid NaH2PO4 and weak base is Na2HPO4. So whenever strong acid will come, it will react with strong acid, for example HCl. It will react with weak base, and whenever strong base will come, NaOH for example, it will react with weak acid, and they convert it into strong base will convert it into weak base, and strong acid will convert it into weak acid. Like this, phosphate buffer help to maintain acid base balance. After that we have hemoglobin. How hemoglobin help in maintain or take part in acid base balance? Okay, what is this? This we have RBC, here we have circulation, here we have cell. Okay, cell will release CO2 will come inside the RBC, and inside the RBC CO2 will join with H2O and it will form H2CO3. Okay, then H2CO3 will dissociate with H positive and bicarbonate ion, and bicarbonate will go outside, and instead of chloride will come inside. Okay, so bicarbonate will go out of the cell, out of the RBC, and chloride will come inside the RBC. That is called chloride shift, or we can say hamburger shift. In this condition you can see bicarbonate, in this condition bicarbonate is come into the blood. Okay, means bicarbonate means HCO3 minus is coming inside the blood. Okay, in that case alkalosis will increase because bicarbonate is responsible for the alkalosis. Okay, so this is the way how hemoglobin helps or take part in acid base balance. Now some proteins also work as weak acid because of carboxyl group at C terminal and amino group at N terminal. Okay, so this is all about the buffer system. Now we will discuss about second. What is second? Respiratory. How respiratory and renal system help in buffer. Okay, so first we will discuss respiratory system, and here we have renal system. Respiratory system will deal with CO2, and renal system deal with bicarbonate ion. Okay, so we have one formula or one equation, H2O plus CO2, they join together and form H2 CO3 and again dissociate into H positive plus HCO3 minus. Okay, so in case of respiratory system, whenever CO2 will increase, H2CO3 will increase and H positive will increase. So H positive will increase, and if H positive will increase means pH will decrease. That is called acidosis. But we are dealing with respiratory, so this is called respiratory acidosis. Okay, and whenever CO2 will decrease, H2CO3 will decrease and H positive also will decrease. So CO2 will decrease, H positive will decrease, and pH increase. That is called alkalosis. But we are dealing with respiratory, so that is called respiratory alkalosis. It is this respiratory alkalosis. But here we will get one thing. What? pH is decreasing in this case and CO2 is increasing. Okay, and another case pH is increasing and CO2 is decreasing. Okay, so this remember, in respiratory case, whenever CO2 will increase, pH will decrease, and CO2 will decrease, pH will increase. But in renal case, now we will discuss about renal case. In renal case, suppose bicarbonate is increasing. If bicarbonate will increase in blood, they will join with H positive. Whatever the bicarbonate will increase, they will join with H positive. So in that case, H positive will, whatever the H positive in blood, it will decrease. So H positive will decrease means pH will increase, and that is called alkalosis. But we are dealing with renal, so that is called renal alkalosis. It is renal alkalosis. Suppose bicarbonate is increasing in blood. Whenever bicarbonate will increase, it will join together H positive. So H positive is decreasing. Okay, H and bicarbonate join together, they will form H2CO3. So H2CO3 will increase or not? It will increase. If H2CO3 will increase, means CO2 also increase. So in renal case, CO2, what? CO2 will increase. Okay, now we have second. Suppose bicarbonate is decreasing. If bicarbonate will decrease, okay, so in blood H positive will increase, because there is no bicarbonate to join with H positive. Okay, so H positive will increase. Okay, if H positive will increase, this will lead pH decrease. That is called acidosis. But we are dealing with renal, so that is called renal acidosis. What is this? Renal acidosis. What happened with CO2? H positive is increasing. H2CO3 will decrease or decrease? H2CO3 will decrease or increase? It will decrease. Okay, so CO2 will decrease. So in this case, CO2 will decrease. So in case of renal, we will get, whenever pH will increase, CO2 also increase. For example, pH increasing and CO2 also increasing, and pH decreasing, CO2 also decrease in case of renal. Okay, so in case of respiratory, we have opposite pH and CO2, or in case of renal, we have same. What? Whenever pH increase, CO2 will also increase. So for this, we have one formula that is called ROME. ROME means, R means respiratory opposite, M means metabolic, E means equal. Okay, renal alkalosis, or can say na metabolic also. This is metabolic. Okay, metabolic. metabolic alkalosis or metabolic acidosis. Okay, so in respiratory case we have pH increase, CO2 will decrease, pH decrease, CO2 will increase. But in metabolic or renal case we have metabolic pH increase or CO2 also increase, and pH decrease, CO2 also decrease. Like this we have. Okay, and in our body who will compensate these things? For we have a special point. For example, if we have respiratory acidosis. Respiratory acidosis means CO2 is more, means pH is less. This is called na. So this will compensate by compensated by the metabolic alkalosis. Will compensate by the metabolic alkalosis. And if we have respiratory alkalosis, so respiratory alkalosis will compensate by the acidosis. But which acidosis? Metabolic acidosis compensated. If we have metabolic acidosis, it compensated by the alkalosis. But which alkalosis? Respiratory alkalosis. Okay, if we have metabolic alkalosis, then it will compensated by definitely acidosis. But which acidosis? Respiratory acidosis. Okay, so in this case we have some example how we will get question. For example, 7.55 is equal to 40 by 60. Normal bicarbonate is 25 or 22 to 28, and CO2 40 to 44 mm of Hg milli equivalent. Okay, this is the normal level. This is our question. In this question we have pH 4.55, bicarbonate, what we have? Bicarbonate 40, and CO2 we have 60. Okay, so pH is more, bicarbonate also more, and CO2 also more. But how to solve this question? For example, everybody knows pH is directly proportional. pH is directly proportional to bicarbonate and inversely proportional to CO2. So which is correct? Which one is correct? We will check here. If bicarbonate will increase, in this condition bicarbonate is increased. Is pH increasing or decreasing? Yes, pH is increasing, means this is correct. Okay, now second, if here carbon dioxide is increased, and in this case if CO2 will increase, in that case pH should decrease, not increase. But in this case pH is increasing, means this equation blue color, this one is wrong. So what is the case? This is the case. So which one is right? Metabolic alkalosis. But why CO2 is increased? Because metabolic alkalosis compensated by respiratory acidosis. So primary case is metabolic alkalosis, and who is compensating this? Respiratory acidosis. Okay, suppose we have 7.2 equal to 5 by 16, like this equation, like this question we have. In this case pH decrease or increase? In this case pH decrease, bicarbonate decrease, and CO2 decrease. So again we will check. Bicarbonate decreasing and pH also decreasing, it means this equation is correct. This is right. Okay, this relation is right. Okay, then next we will, CO2 is decreasing, and pH is decreasing. Is it right? No, because CO2 is decreasing, it should, so pH should be increased, but in this case pH is decreased, so this one is wrong. Okay, so which one is right? This one is right. First one is right, or second one is wrong. So first one is metabolic acidosis. Primary case is metabolic acidosis, but compensated by why CO2 is decreased? Compensated by respiratory alkalosis. Okay, so like this we can solve this question. So this is all about acid base balance and homeostasis. Thank you so much. Okay, next topic will be cell transport across the cell membrane. Tomorrow we will take class, and I will upload in YouTube channel also and Instagram also. Thank you so much.